A lake and a ferry boat by Thomas Hood. A lake and a ferry boat to sail in the moonlight clear. Merrily we would float, dragons would watch us here. The gown should be snow-white silk and strings of oriental pearls, like gossamer dipped and milk should twine with her raven curls. Red rubies should take their hands and diamonds should be their dower. But fairies have broke their wands, and wishing has lost its power. Anticipation by Thomas Hood. Had a vision in the summer light. Sorrow was in it, and my inward sight ached with sad images. The touch of tears gushed down my cheeks, the thicket woes of years, casting their shadows across sunny hours. Oh, there was nothing sorrowful in flowers, wooing the glance of an April sun, or April blossoms opening one by one their crimson bosoms, of the twittering words, the warbled sentences of merry birds, of a small glitter in the humming wings, of golden flies and many-colored things. A whisper nothing said, nor to see her sitting beneath a comfortable stir of early leaves, casting the playful grace of moving shadows into a fair face, nor in her brow serene, nor in the laugh of her mild eyes drinking the light above long thirst, nor in a gentle smile, and in a hand that shone bloodred in a while she raised it to the sun. Always were dear to heart and eye, but an invisible fear shook on the tears and chilled upon the air, and one spot was laughing brightest, when my soul most sank and darkened in despair. As the shadows of a curtained room haunted me in the sun, as if the bloom of early flowers had no sweets for me, nor apple blossoms any blush to see. As if the hour had brought too bright a day, and little birds were all too gay. As if the beauty of that lovely one were all a fable, full before the sun stood deaf, and cast a shadow long before, like a dark pale, enshrouding her all over till eyes and lips and smiles, all no more. Birthday Verses by Thomas Hood. Good morrow to the golden morning, good morrow to the world's delight. I've come to bless by life's beginning, since it makes my own so bright. I have brought no roses, sweetest, I could find no flowers, dear. It was when all sweet were over, we were born to bless the year. And have brought me jewels, dearest, in their bonny locks to shine, and of love shows in the glances they have learned the look of mine. By every sweet tradition of true hearts, by Thomas Hood. By every sweet tradition of true hearts, graven by time, and love is his own law. By all old martyrdoms and antique smarts, and love died to be alive for more. And by the sad impression on the shore, left by the drowned lender, took ender that goes forever with the billows roar, one of the pity and the poet's ear. My hero's faith and foreboding tear quenched their brows last swing on its fall. I suffered sleep in the low rustling fear that sighed around the flight. As for the ball, virtue finds its pattern in my act. Love's great example is still the lacked. Christmas Holiday by Thomas Hood. Along the wood from the road there comes the noise of wheels. Mr. Rowning's neat post-chaise struggles along, drawn by a pair of bays, with Reverend Mr. Crow and 6 small boys, Weather and Anne clever Joyce, with trumping horns and juvenile huzzas, and going home to spend their Christmas days in changing learning's pains for pleasure's toys. 6 weeks elapse, and down the wood for the way, every coach tracks 6 more heavenly souls, but no glad urchins shout nor trumpets bray. The carriage makes halt, the gate bell tolls, and little boys walk in as dull and numb as 6 new scholars to the deaf and dumb. Death by Thomas Hood. It is not death that sometime in a sigh with eloquent breath shall take its speechless flight, that sometime these bright stars with no reply in sunlight to the sun shall set in night, and his warm conscious flesh shall perish quite, and all life's ruddy springs forget to flow. At forge shall cheese and the immortal spirit be leapt in alien clay and laid below. It is not death to know this, but to know the purest thoughts, which visited new graves in tender pilgrimage, which ceased to go dulling and so soft, as when grass waves the past away, the maybe when the resurrection in the minds of men. Fair Ines by Thomas Hood. Or saw you not fair Ines? She's gone into the west, dazzled when the sun is down in her world of rest. She took our daylight with her, the smiles that we love best, the morning blushes on her cheek and pearls upon her breast. Or turn again, fair Ines, before the fall of night, or fear the moon should shine alone in stars unrivaled bright. And blessed will the lover be that walks beneath the light, and breathes the love against my cheek I dare not even write. Where I had been, fair Ines, that gallant cavalier rode so gaily by thy side, and whispered we so near. Where were no bonny dames at home, no true lovers here, we should cross the seas to win the dearest of dear. I saw we lovely hints descant along the shore, of bands of noble gentlemen and banners waved before, and gentle youth and maidens gay, and snowy plums they wore. It would have been a beauteous dream if it had been no more. Alas, alas, for Ines she went away with song, with music waiting on her steps and shoutings of a throng. But some were sad and felt no mirth, but only music's wrong, and sound that sang, farewell, farewell, to her you've loved so long. Farewell, farewell, fair Ines, that vessel never bore so fair a lady on its deck, nor danced so light before. Alas for pleasure on the sea and sorrow on the shore, the smile that blessed one lover's heart has broken many more. False poets and true, by Thomas Hood. Look how the lark soars upward and is gone, turning a spirit as seen as the sky. His voice is heard, but body wears none to fix the vague excursions of the eye. So poets' songs are with us, though we they obscured, hid by death's oblivious shroud. And earth inherits a rich melody, like rainy music from the morning cloud. Yet if you will, be who pipes so sweet and loud the voices reach us through the lapse of space. The noisy day is deafened by a crowd of undistinguished birds, a twittering race. Only lark and nightingale forlorn of loveless silences of night and morn. Farewell, life, my senses swim, by Thomas Hood. Farewell, life, my senses swim, and the world is growing dim. Thronging shadows cloud the light like the advent of a night. Colder, colder, colder still, upward steals the vapor chill. Strong the earthy odor grows, smooth the mould above the rose. Welcome, life, the spirit strives, strength returns and hope revives. Cloudy fears and shapes forlorn fly like shadows at the morn. The earth comes to bloom, sunny light for sullen gloom, warm perfume for vapor cold. I smell rose above the mould.
Flowers by Thomas Hood. I will not have a mad slith, whose head is turned by the sun. A tulip is a courtly queen, whom therefore I will shun. A cowslip is a cowardly wench, the violet is a nun. But I will roll a dainty rose, the queen of everyone. A pear is but a wanton witch, in too much haste to wed, and clasp her rings on every hand. The husband I should dread, nor will I dread Rosemary, but always mourns the dead. But I will roll a dainty rose with her checks of tender red. The lily is all in white like a saint, and so it is no mate for me. And the daisy's cheek is tipped with a blush, she is of such low degree. Jasmine is sweet, and has many loves, and the broom's betrothed to the bee. But I will plight with a dainty rose, for fairest of all is she.
Gold, Thomas Hood. Gold, 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 bright yellow, hard gold, molten, graven, hammered and load, heavy to get and light to hold, hard, bartered, bought, sold, stolen, rowered, swindled, dough, spurred by young, hung by old, words of a churchyard moat, prize of many a crime and doubt, gold, 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 good, bad, thousand fold. A willy at agency's vow to save, to ruin, to curse, to bless, as even its minted coins express. Stamped with the image of Queen Bess, now of bloody Mary. Hymn to the Sun by Thomas Hood. Giver of glowing light, for by the God of other days the kings and sages of wiser ages still live and gladden their genial race. King of a tuneful lyre, still poets' hymns to thee belong. For lips are cold where on of old the beams are turned to worshipping and death. Lord of a dreadful bow, and triumph now for pipe and staff, and thou dost save from hungry grave the life that hangs upon a summer breath. Father of rosy day, no more thy clouds of incense rise, but waking flowers at morning hours give out their sweets to meet we in the skies. God of a Delphic fame, no more one listens to him sublime, and we will leave one winds at eve, a solemn echo to the end of time. I love thee, Thomas Hood. I love thee, is all that I can say. It's my vision in the night, my dreaming in the day. The echo of my heart, the blessing when I pray. I love thee, is all that I can say. I love thee, is ever on my tongue. On my proudest poesy with chorus still is sung. It is the verdict of my eyes amidst the gay and young. I love thee, I love thee, a thousand mates among. I love thee, I love thee, a bright hazel glance, the mellow lute upon those lips, whose tender tones and trace. At most, dear heart of hearts, thy proofs, but still with words and hands. I love thee, whatever be thy chance. I remember, Thomas Hood. I remember the house where I was born, and the window where the sun came peeping in at the morn. It never came a wink too soon, nor brought too long a day, but no often wishful night had borne my breath away. I remember the roses white and red, the violets and the lily cups, those flowers made of light. I licked where the robin built, and where my brother sat for the boon on his birth, the tree is living yet. I remember where rose used to swing, and forth the air must rush as fresh to swallows on the wing. As spirit flew in feathers when it is so heavy now, the summer pools could hardly cool the fever on my brow. I remember the fire trees dark and high. I used to think the slender tops were close against the sky. It was a childish ignorance, but now it is a joy to know I'm far off from heaven than when I was a boy. Is there a bitter pang for love removed? Thomas Hood. Is there a bitter pang for love removed, O God? The dead love doth not cost more tear than the alive for loving the beloved. Not yet beloved on hopes and fears, would I were laid under the shade of a calm grave in the long grass of years. That love might die with sorrow, I am sorrow, and she that loves me tenderest doth press my poison from her cruel lips, where only new anguish from the old caress, whose world's grief hath no relief. Being wrung from a great happiness, would I have never filled thine eyes with love? Love is only tears. Would I had never breathed such a curse-like blessing as we prove. Now, if farewell God bless we I could sever, would I were laid under the shade of a cold tomb in the long grass forever. It was not in the winter, but Thomas Hood. It was not in the winter, our loving lot was cast. It was in the time of roses, we plucked them as we passed. The churlish season that throned on early lovers yet, on our world was newly crowned with flowers when first we met. 'Twas twilight and they bade you go, but still you held me fast. It was the time of roses, we plucked them as we passed. What else could peer the glowing cheek? The tears began to start, and I asked the like of love, you snatched the damask mat, and oped into the dainty course, glowing to the last. And it was the time of roses, we plucked them as we passed. Let us make a leap, my dear, Thomas Hood. Let us make a leap, my dear, in our love of many a year, and dated very far away on a bright clear summer day, and the heart was like a sun to itself and falsehood none. Rosy lips a part of a very loving heart, and the shining of the eye, but a sign to know it by. My faults were all forgiven, and my life deserved of heaven. Dearest, let us reckon so, and love for all but long ago. Each absence count a year complete, keep a birthday when we meet. Love, dearest ladies, such as I would speak, by Thomas Hood. Love, dearest ladies, such as I would speak, listen to them the humour of the eye, not being but an outward fantasy that skims the surface of a tinted cheek. Else would wane with beauty and grow weak, as if a rose made summer, to lie amongst the perishable things that die, unlike the love which I would give and seek, whose self is of no hue to feel decay, with cheeks decay that have a rosy prime. Love, its own great loveliness alway, and takes no lustre from the touch of time. Its bow owns no December nor May, but bears its blossom into winter's clime.
Midnight by Thomas Hood. Unformful night, whose dust was swept over the flooded earth, and darkly hide a mighty city under the full tide, making a silent palace fall to sleep, like his own temple under the hushed deep, where all the busy day he doth abide, and forth at the late dark outspread of white, as dusky wings whence the cold waters sweep, how peacefully the living millions lie, lulled unto death beneath his popey spells. There's no breath, no living stir, no cry, no tread of foot, no song, no music hall, only the sound of melancholy bells, the voice of time, survivor of them all.
My heart is sick with longing, by Thomas Hood. My heart is sick with longing for a feet on hope. Time goes with such a heavy pace that neither brings nor takes from my embrace, as if he slipped, forgetting his own speed. For as in sunshine only we can read the march of minutes on the dial's face, so in the shadows of this lonely place there is no love, and time is dead indeed. And when, dear lady, I am near thy heart, where smile is time, when so swift it flies, it seems we only meet to tear apart, with aching hands and lingering of eyes. Alas, alas, we must lure now as flight with the same light of love that makes them bright. No, Thomas Hood. No sun, no moon, no morn, nor noon. No dawn, no dusk, no proper time of day. No sky, no earthly view, no distance looking blue. No road, no street, no the other side this way. No road, no street, no the other side this way. No end to any row, indications where the crescents go. No top to any steeple, no recognitions of familiar people. No courtesies for showing 'em, no knowing 'em. No travelling at all, no locomotion, a linking of a way, no notion. No go, by land or ocean, no mail, no post. No news from any foreign coast, no park, no ring, no afternoon gentility, no company, no nobility, no warmth, no cheerfulness, no healthful ease, no comfortable feel in any member, no shade, no shine, no butterflies, no bees, no fruits, no flowers, no leaves, no birds, November. O lady, leave a silken thread, Thomas Hood. O lady, leave a silken thread and flowery tapestries, as living roses on the bush and blossoms on the tree. Stop where we build the callous sand some wren and bat will meet. Who canst retreat, but who will find the daisies at their feet? As like the birthday of the world that was born in bloom. The light is made of many days, the air's all perfume. There's crimson buds, and white and blue, their rainbow showers have turned to blossoms where they fell, and sown the earth with flowers. There's fairy tulips in the east, the garden of the sun. Airy streams reflect the hues and blossom as they run. The morn opes like a crimson rose, still wet with pearly showers. Then, lady, leave a silken thread, what rinsed into flowers. Serenade by Thomas Hood. As sweet for little knowest how a weak and passionate watchers keep. Your well dress, we know, methinks the smile is never sleep. Sweet enough to make me weep with a tender thought of love and we, and the world is hushed so deep, my soul's perhaps awake to me. Sleep on, sweet bride of sleep, if golden visions of thy dower, while I this midnight while shall keep and bless thee in thy silent bower. It is sweeter than the power of sleep, if thy dreams unfurled, lie alone at this still hour, and patient love outwatch the world. She's up and gone, the graceless girl, Thomas Hood. She's up and gone, the graceless girl, dropped my falling years. Blood before was thin and cold, but now 'tis turned to tears. My shadow falls upon my grave, so near the brink I stand. She might have stayed a little yet, and led me by the hand. I call on the barren moor, and call on the hill. There's nothing but the heron's cry, a plover's answer shrill. My child is flown on wilder wings, and way of ever spread, as I may even walk a waste that widened when she fled. Full many a thankless child has been, and never one like mine. It was served on plates of gold, her drink was rosy wine. Now she'll share the robin's food, and suffer common drill, for feet will turn again to meet her father's will. Sigh on, sad heart, for love's eclipse, by Thomas Hood. Sigh on, sad heart, for love's eclipse, and beauty's fairest queen, for 'tis not from her passionate lips to soil a name between. A king might lay his sceptre down, but I am poor and naught. My brow shall wear a golden crown, with worse than his fort. The diamonds glancing in her hair, whose sudden beams, surprise, bid such humble hopes prepare the glancing of her eyes. Yet looking once, I looked too long. If my love is sin, that follows on the heels of wrong and kills the crime within. Just in wove of leaves, was so pure and fine of lofty words and lowly waves, and hot and grace mine. How many hosts must step apart, where guard a princess stand, but many he were my love heart would wins the lily hand. Alas, where's far from rusted frieze the silks and satin gowns, but adoptive God made like degrees in courtly hearts and clowns. My father wronged the maiden's mirth, and brought her cheeks to blame, and all that's lordly of my birth is my reproach and shame. 'Tis vain to weep, 'tis vain to sigh, 'tis vain this idle speech, for where happy pearls do lie, my tears may never reach. When I'm gone, e'en lofty pride may say of what has been, his love was nobly born and died, while the rest was mean. My speech is rude, but speech is weak, since love is mine to tell, yet are words that dare not speak. So lady, fare you well. I will not wish the better state was one of low degree. I must weep that partial fate made such a churl of me. Silence, by Thomas Hood. As a silence, there have been no sound. As a silence and a sound may be. The God grave on the deep, deep sea, and the wide desert where no life is found, which have been mute, and still must sleep profound. No voice is hushed, and life treats silently. The clouds and cloud shadows wander free, that never spoke or the idle groan. but in green ruins and the desolate walls of antique palaces the men have been, over than fox or wild Rian calls, and owls that flit continually betweenst, shriek to the echo and the low winds moan. There the true silence is, self-conscious and alone. Sonnet for the 14th of February by Thomas Hood. The popular respect will I omit to do we honour on this happy day, when every loyal lover task his wit, his simple truth and stood his rhymes to pay, to his mistress dear as hopes convey. Rather thou knowest, I would still outrun no calendars with laughs, who stayed all with their bright eyes govern better than the sun. With for favour was my life begun, and still I reckon on from smiles to smiles, and by summers, where fright for none but those that cheerful nurse complies. Oh, if it be to choose and call thee mine, love, thou art every day my Valentine. Sonnet on receiving a gift by Thomas Hood. Look how the golden ocean shines above, its people's stones magnifies the girth. So does the bright and blessed light of love its own things glorify and raise her worth. As sweet sea flows beneath the fluttering brine, and stones like gems, and gems as gems indeed, even so a token shine, and may they outshine pearls and pearls, and gems and coral bit. Where be ocean waves but half so clear, so calmly constant, so kindly warm, as love's most mild and glowing atmosphere, and have not cheeks to be upturned by storm. More sweet the gracious gifts are gifts of price, more than gold to doting avarice. Sonnet to my wife, Thomas Hood. Curse of Aidan, the old curse of all, for inherit in this feverish life, for worldly toil, vain wishes, and hard strife, and fruitless thought, and care's eternal thrall, and more sweet honey than of bitter gall taste, for we, my youth, my sweet wife. When what was man's lost paradise, a rife of bliss, since love is with him and has fall. Such as our own pure passion still might frame of this fair earth, its delightful bowers, if no field sorrow, like the serpent, come to trail its venom over sweetest flowers. Though as many and such tears I owe as only should be shed for guilt and shame. Sonnet to Ocean by Thomas Hood. Shall rebuke we ocean, my old love, at once enrage the wild winds at strife, for there's menace, my unit of the life, sending my clay below my soul above, but roar waves like lions in their rove by night, pound upon thy prey by stealth. Didst for ne'er restore my fainting health, yet for ne'er murmur gently like the dove, as for not against mound ye shore, for break was link between my land and me. Absent friends talk on my very raw, waves beat the kindly pulse I see. If I must not see my England more, next to soil, grave be found in we. Spring it is cherry by Thomas Hood. Spring it is cherry, winter is dreary, green leaves hang that the brown must fly, and he's forsaken, withered and shaken, what can an old man do but die? Love will not clip him, mates will not lip him, more than merry and passer by. Youth is sunny, age has no honey, what can an old man do but die? June it was jolly, or for its folly, a dancing leg and a laughing eye. Youth may be silly, wisdom is chilly, what can an old man do but die? Friends wear scanty, beggars are plenty, if he has followers I know why. Goats in his clutches, buying him crutches, what can an old man do but die? With flesh as grass as now as clear as day, but Thomas Hood. With flesh as grass as now as clear as day, to any but the merest purblind pup, death cuts it down, and then to make her hay, my lady comes and rakes it up. The deathbed, by Thomas Hood. He watched her breathing through the night, a breathing soft and low, as in her breast the wave of life kept heaving to and fro. And the morn came dim and sad, and chill with early showers, her quiet eyelids closed. She had another morn than ours. The Dream Fairy by Thomas Hood. A little fairy comes at night, her eyes are blue, her hair is brown, with silver spots upon her wings, and from the moon she flutters down. She has a little silver wand, and when the good child goes to bed, she waves her wand from right or left and makes a circle round her head. And then it dreams of pleasant things, of fountains filled with fairy fish, and trees that bear delicious fruit over branches at a wish. Of arbors filled with dainty scents from lovely flowers that never fade, bright flies that flitter in the sun and glowworms shining in the shade. And talking birds with gifted tongues were singing songs and telling tales, and pretty dwarfs to show the way through fairy hills and fairy dales.
The Duel by Thomas Hood. In Brenton town of old renown, there lived a Mr. Bray, who fell in love with Lucy Bell, and so did Mr. Clay. To see her ride from Hammersmith, by all it was allowed, such fair outsides are seldom seen, such angels on a cloud. Said Mr. Bay to Mr. Clay, you choose to rival me, and court Miss Bell, but where your court no fruitful shall be. Unless you now give up your suit, you may repent your love. I who have shot a pigging match can shoot a turtle dove. So pray before you woo her more, consider what you do. If you pop aught to Lucy Bell, I'll pop it into you. Said Mr. Clay to Mr. Bray, your threats are quite explode. One who has been a volunteer knows how to prime and load. And so I say to you, unless your passion quite keeps, I who have shot and hit bull's eyes may change to hit the sheep's. Now gold is oft for silver changed, and that for copper red. But we's two went away to give each other changed for lead. But first we sought a friend apiece, with pleasure tough to give. When we were dead, we was should have 2 seconds still to live. The measure out we groaned not long, the seconds went for bore, and having taken one rash step, we took a dozen more. We next prepared each pistol's pen against the deadly strife, by putting in a prime of death against a prime of life. Now all was ready for the foes, but when we took their stands, fear made them tremble so, we found they both were shaking hands. Said Mr. C to Mr. B, here one of us may fall, and like St. Paul's Cathedral now, we doomed to have a ball. And to confess I did detach misconduct to your name. If I withdraw the charge within, your room will do the same. Said Mr. B, I do agree, but think of honor's courts. If we go off without a shoot, where will be strange reports? But look, the morning now is bright, tough cloudy it begun. Why can't we aim above, as if we had called out the sun? So into the harmless air the bullets we did send, and may all our duels have that upshot in the end. The Fall, by Thomas Hood. Who does not know the dreadful gulf where Niagara falls, where eagle unto eagle screams, to vulture vulture calls, where dawn beneath despair, death, and liquid darkness group, and upward on the foam there shines a rainbow without hope, while, hung with clouds of fear and doubt, the unreturned wave suddenly gives an awful plunk, like life into the grave, and many a hapless mortal we half divided to wall of bliss. One only one half ever lived to rise from that abyss. How heaven, it turns me now to ice with chill of fear extreme, to think of my frail bark adrift on the tumultuous stream. And waned with despaired sinews, strung by love of life and light, I urged with coffin my canoe against the current's might. On, still on, direct for doom, the river rushed in force, and fearfully the stream of time raced with it in its course. My eyes are closed, I dare not look the way towards the goal, but still I viewed the horrid close and dreamed it in my soul. Plainly, as through transparent lids, I saw the fleeting shore, and loved trees like winged things flit by forevermore. Plainly, but with no prophet sense, I heard the sullen sound, the torrent's voice, and felt the mist, like death's sweet gathering round. O agony, my life, my home, and those that made it sweet! I could pray the torrent lay beneath my very feet. The frightful rail, more swift than thought, I passed the dismal edge. Bone after bone with hideous bruise, I dashed from ledge to ledge, from crack to crack, in speechless pain, from midnight deep to deep. I did not die, but anger stunned my senses into sleep. How long entranced the river dived, no clue I have to find. At last the great light of life came dawning over my mind, and through my brain there flowed a cry as shrill as birds, of vulture or of eagle kind, but this was set to words. It's Edgar Huntley in his cape and nightgown, I declares. He's been here walking in his sleep and pitched all down the stairs.
The Forsaken, by Thomas Hood. The dead are in their silent graves, and the dew is cold above, and the living weep and sigh over dust that once was loved. Once I only wept the dead, now the living cause me pain. Or couldst thou steal me from my tears, to leave me to my tears again? Mother rests beneath the sod, hers is calm and very deep. I wished that she could see her loves, but now gladden in her sleep. Last night unbound my raven locks, the morning saw them turn to grey. Once they were black and well beloved, but were changing and so away. The useless look I gave thee once, to gaze upon and think of me, was done with smiles, and is forstone, and so it is sent to thee. The Lee Shore, by Thomas Hood. Sleet and hail and thunder, and your winds that rave till the sands thereunder tinge the sullen wave. Winds that like a demon howl with horrid note round the toiling seaman in his tossing boat. Almost humbled dwelling on the shingly shore, and the billows swelling keep such hollow roar. Over the weeping woman seeking for cries, a course superhuman from the frowning skies. On the urchin pining for his father's knee, on the lattice shining drive the moat to sea. Let broad leagues sever him from yonder foam, O God, to think man ever comes too near his home.
The Lover's Progress by Thomas Hood. 'Twas in the memorial year, France threatened to put off in flat-bottom's boats, intended each to be a British coffin, to make sad widows of our wives, and every babe an orphan. When coats were made of scarlet cloaks, and heaths were dragged the floor, I listed in Valor's corps against the battle hour, a perfect volunteer, for why? I brought my will and powder. One very dead, a day of dread, like cotus overcast, about the hour of 6, the morn and I were breaking fast, there came a loud and sudden sound that struck me all aghast. A dismal sort of morning road, that was not to be eaten, all where it was no skin of mine, but parchment where it was beaten. I felt the tooth through all my flesh, like any utilitarian. My jaws with utter dread unclosed, the morsel I was munching. The terror looked from up so tight, my very teeth went quenching. All through my bread and tongue at once, like sandwich made at lunching. My hand that held the teapot fast, sniffed but yet unsteady, keep pouring over the cup in one long eddy, till both my hose were marked with tea, as they were marked already. I felt my visage turn from red to rye, from cold to hot, but it was nothing wonderful. My colour changed, I would fall like some variable silks. I felt that I was shot. Looking forth with anxious eye for my snug upper-story, I saw a melancholy corpse going to beds all gory. The pioneers seemed very aloof, the axe were way to glory. The captain marched as mourners march, the inside too seemed lagging, and many more although they were now in sight took to flagging. Like corpses in the Serpentine, men for they wanted dragging. But while I watched the half of dead came like a chilly guest, and lo, I shut the window down with very little lust, to join so many marching men that soon might be marched dust. Quoth I, since fate ordains it so, a foe the coast must land on. I felt so warm beside the fire I cared not to abandon. Our hearts and homes are always tights that patriots make a stand on. The fools that fight abroad for how, thought I, may get a wrong one, and those who have no homes at all go battle for a long one. The mirror here confirmed me with reflection by a strong one. For where I was wont to shave, and deck my like Adonis, there stood the lever of our foes with Voyagers for his armies, a Corsican, but death himself, the bone of our bonies. A horrid sight it was, and sad, to see the grisly chap put on my crimson livery, and then begin to clap my helmet on. Ah me, I felt like any felon's cape. My plumes seemed borrowed from a hearse, and undertaker's crest, my epaulettes like coffin plates, my belt so heavy pressed, for pipe-clay crossroads seemed to lie at once upon my breast. My brazen breastplate only lacked a little heap of salt to make me like a corpse full dressed, preparing for the ward to set up what the poet calls my everlasting halt. This funeral show inclined me quite to peace, here I am. Whilst better lions go to war, enjoy with the lambs a lengthened life that might have been a martial epigram.
The Poet's Portion by Thomas Hood. What is mine, a treasury, a dower, a magic talisman of mighty power? A poet's white possession of the earth, he has the enjoyment of flowers' birth, before its budding, of first red streaks, and winter cannot drop him off her cheeks. Look if his dawn be not as other man's, 20 bright flushes ere never kens, the first of sunlight is abroad. He sees its golden election of the topmost trees, and opes the splendid fissures of the morn. And do his fruits delay, when doth his corn linger for harvesting? Before the leaf is commonly abroad, in his piled sheaf the flagging poppies lose their ancient flame. No sweet ways, no pleasure I can name, and he will sip it first before the leaves. This is to taste rich honey of the bees are busy with brooms, and may forestall June's rosy elfin force coronal, with the expected buds open the board, twining his thoughts to bloom upon his brow. Oh, blessed to see the flower in its seed, before its leafy presence, for indeed leaves are but wings on which the summer flies, each thing perishable fades and dies, escaped in thought. But his rich thinkings be like overflows of immortality, so that there is steeped shall perish never, but live and bloom and be a joy forever.
The Progress of Art by Thomas Hood. O happy time, art's early days, when over each deed with such self-praise, Narcissus-like I hung, in great Rembrandt but little seemed, and such old masters all were deemed as nothing to the young. Some scratchy strokes, abrupt and few, so easily and swift I drew. Sufficient for my design, my sketchy, superficial hand drew solids at a dash and spanned a surface with a line. Not long my eye was thus content, but grew more critical. My bent essayed a higher walk. I copied leaden eyes and lead, rheumatic hands in right and red, and goatee flat in chalk. And in my studious art for days, kept making faces, happy phrase, for faces such as mine, accomplished in the details when I left the minor parts of man and drew the form divine. Old gods and heroes, Trojan Greek figures, long after the antique great Ajax justly feared, Hectors of whom at night I dreamt, and Nestors, blind enough to tempt, bird nesters to his beard. A Bacchus laying on a bowl, Pallas, but I was there her owl, a Vulcan very lame, and Dian, stuck about with stars, with her right hand, a murdered Mars, when Williams did the same. But tired of his dry work at last, crayon and chalk aside I cast, and gave my brush a drink, dipping as when a painter dips in gloom of earthquake and eclipse, that is, in Indian ink. And when what black Mont Blancs arose, crested with soot and not with snows, what clouds of dingy hue, in spite of what the brands has penned, I fear the distance did not lean achievement to the view. Not Graceff's brush did ear design, black forest half so black as mine, or lakes so like a pall. The Chinese cake dispersed a ray of darkness like the light of day, and Martin of all. Yet a chin pride sustained me still. I gazed on all the right goodwill, and spread with tiny tint. No holy luck helped me to paint, the devil surely not a saint, had any finger in it. But colors came, like morning light, with gorgeous hues, displacing night, or spring's enlivened sea. And once the sable shades withdrew, my skies got very, very blue, my trees extremely green. And washed by my cosmic brush, how beauty's cheek began to blush with a look of auburn stain. Not Golfham's auburn, nut brown hair, but made her loveliest of the fair, not loveliest of the plain. Her lips were of vermont hue, love in her eyes and Prussian blue set all my heart in flame. A young Pygmalion I adorned, the maids I made, but time was stirred with evil, and it came. Perspective dawned, and soon I saw my houses stand against its law, and keeping all unkept, my beauties were no longer things for love and fond imaginations, but horrors to be wept. Ah, why did knowledge open my eyes? Why did I get more artist wise? It only serves to hint what grave defects and wants are mine, but I am no hidden in design, in nature not divine. For his happy time, art's early days, when our each deed with sweet self-praise, Narcissus like a hug, and great Rembrandt but little seemed, and such old masters all were deemed as nothing to the young.
The sea of death, Thomas Hood. Methought I saw, like swiftly treading over endless space, and at their footprint but a bygone pace, the ocean passed, which, with increasing wave, swallowed his steps like a pursuing grave. Sad were my thoughts that anchored silently on the dead waters of the passionless sea, unstirred by any touch of living breath. Silence sung overhead, and rosy death, like a gorged sea-bird, slipped with folded wings and crowded carcasses, sad passive things that wore the thin grey surface like a veil of calmness of a features pale. And there were spring-faced cherubs that did sleep like water lilies on that motionless deep. Beautiful, with bright unruffled hair on sleek unfretting brows, and eyes that were buried on marble tombs to pale eclipse, and smiled bedimpled cheeks and pleasant lips meekly apart, as if the soul intense spake out in dreams of its own innocence. And so they lay in loveliness, and kept the birthnight of the peace that life enwhipped with every envy of the happy fronts. For where were neighbor brows scared by the prance of strife and sorrowing, their care had set his crooked outcraft and marred the jet of glassy locks, for no eyes flown and lips that curled in bitterness and scorn, wretched as their breath of this world's pain, so quenched the world again for beholder's heart and heavy sighs. So lay they garmented in torpid light under the pale of transparent night, like solemn apparitions lulled sublime to everlasting rest. And with time slept, as he sleeps upon the silent face of a dark dial in a sunless place. The stars are with the Voyager by Thomas Hood. The stars are with the Voyager wherever he may sail. Moon is constant to a time, the sun will never fail. Not following the world, green earth and the sea, so love is with the lover's heart wherever he may be. Wherever he may be, the stars must daily lose their light. The moon will wail in the shade, the sun will set at night. The sun may set, but constant love will shine when he's away, so a dull night is never night, and day is brighter day. The sun was slumbering in the west by Thomas Hood. The sun was slumbering in the west, my daily labours past, and Anna's soft and gentle breast my head reclined at last, The darkness closed around, so dear to fond congenial sounds, and while she murmured in my ear, "My love, we're out of coals." But Mr. Bond has called again, insisting on his rent. All the toads are coming up to see us out of Kent. I quite forgot to tell you, John has had a tipsy fall. Sure there's something going on with the wild Mary Hole. Miss Bell is bought with sweetest silk, and I have bought the rest. Of course I will go out of town, Southend will be the best. I really think that Jones's house will be the thing for us. I think I told you Mrs. Pope had partnered with her huss. Cook by the way came up today to bid me suit myself, and what do you think? The rats have gnawed the victuals on the shelf, and Lord, there's such a letter come, inviting you to fight. Of course you don't intend to go. God bless you, dear. Good night. The Water Lady by Thomas Hood. Alas, the moon should ever beam to show what man should never see. I saw a maiden on a stream, and fair was she. I stood awhile to see her throw tresses black, would all beset the fair horizon of a broth of clouds of jet. I stayed a little while to view her cheek, and one place of red, the bloom of water tender blue, daintily spread. I stayed to watch her little space, about her lips if she would sing, what is closed above her face with many a ring. And still I stayed a little more, alas, she never comes again. I from her flowers from the shore and watch and away. And now my life will fade away, and what I must vainly pine, for made of mortal clay, but she's divine. The World is With Me by Thomas Hood. The world is with me in its many cares, its woes, its wants, the anxious hopes and fears, that wait on all terrestrial affairs. The shades of former and of future years, the boding fancies and prophetic tears, quelling a spirit whose once elate. Heavens, what wilderness the world appears, where youth and mirth and health are out of date. But now a love of innocence and joy resounds, like music of a fairy race. And at turning from the world's annoy, I gaze upon a little radiant face, and bless eternally the merry bow who makes the sunshine in a shady place. Where's dew for the floweret, Thomas Hood? There's dew for the floweret and honey for the bee, and bowers for wild bird and love for you and me. There are tears for the many and pleasures for the few, and let the world pass on, dear, who has love for me and you. There's care that will not leave us, and pain that will not flee. Our half on all that sits love between you and me. Our love ne'er was reckoned, yet good it is and true. It's half a world to me, dear, it's all the world to you. Time, Hope and Memory by Thomas Hood. I heard a gentle maiden in the spring set her sweet sighs to music and thus sing. Fly through the world and follow we, only for looks that may turn back on me. Only for roses with your chance may throw a withered little verbum on my brow. And will afford for fragrance to my brain, warm with such love, that we will bloom again. We laugh before we, I must street behind, kissing the footprints of the mere unkind. But trust not all the fondness, though it seem, least the true love should rest on the false dream. Their faces smiling, their voices sweet, but smiles betray and music sings deceit. Our words speak false, yet if a welcome proof, I'll be their echo and repeat their love. Only if wakened to sad truth, at last, the bitterness to come and sweetness past, and avoid the vexed and turn again and see the host loved hope, but memory loved we. Time of Roses by Thomas Hood. It was not in the winter our loving lot was cast, it was the time of roses we plucked them as we passed. But church season never thrown on early lovers yet, the whole world was newly crowned with flowers when first we met. 'Twas twilight and I bade you go, but still you held me fast. It was the time of roses we plucked them as we passed. To a child embracing his mother by Thomas Hood. Love thy mother, little one, kiss and clasp her neck again. Yea, after she may have a son, will kiss and clasp her neck and wane. Love thy mother, little one, gaze upon her living eyes. Mirror back her love for we, yea, after thou mayst shut our sighs, to meet them when we cannot see. Gaze upon her living eyes, press her lips the while they glow, with love that we have often told. Yea, after thou mayst press in woe, and kiss them till thine own are cold. Press her lips the while they glow, the words her raven hair, although it be not silver grey, to early death let on by care, may snatch safe one your lock away. The word her raven hair, pray for her at eve and morn, and heaven may long the stroke defer. Thou mayst live the hour forlorn, and I would ask to die with her. Pray for her at eve and morn. To a Cold Beauty, Thomas Hood. Lady, wouldst hear us be to winter's cold and cruel part? and it sets the rivers free, what I still lock up for heart. Wove it shouldst not last for snow, but in the whiteness of her brow. Scorn and cold neglect are made, through winter gloom and winter wind, or will the wrong with summer air, breathing into words unkind. Breathe, which only should belong to love, to sunlight and to song. And little buds unclose. Red and red and red and blue, and the virgin flower of a rose. Oh, so hard to hold for you, wilt will look the bosom too, with no jewel in its cup. Let not cold December sit of us in love's peculiar throne. Brooklets are not prisoned now, and crystal frosts are all gone, and wet which hangs upon the spray, it is no snow, but flower of May. To a false friend, by Thomas Hood. Our hands have met, but not our hearts. Our hands will never meet again. Friends, we have ever been friends, we cannot now remain. I know I loved you once, only know I loved in vain. Our hands have met, but not our hearts. Our hands will never meet again. If I fell to heart and hand, I would our hands had never met. Even the outward form of love must be resigned with some regret. Friends we still might seem to be, if I my wrong would e'er forget. Our hands have joined, but not our hearts. I would our hands had never met. To a Sleeping Child, by Thomas Hood. Oh, 'tis a touching thing to make one weep, a tender infant with its curtained eye, breathing as it would neither live nor die, with its unchanging contours of sleep. And if its silent dreams, serene and deep, had lined its slumber with a still blue sky, I'd the passive cheeks unconscious lie with no more life in roses, just to keep the blushes warm and the mild odorous breath. O blossom boy, so calm is thy repose, the sweet compromise of life and death, 'tis pity those that but should turn close, for memory to stain their inward leaf, tinging their dreams of unacquainted grief. When eyelid sleeps so beauteously, I deemed no eyes could wake so beautiful as away. Where rosy cheeks in such still slumbers lay, I loved the peacefulness, and never dreamed of dimples. Those parted lips so seemed, that for the smile could sweetlier play, and with so graceful life could chase away their graceful death. And those blue eyes sunbeamed. No slumber lies, and dimpled eddies droned, and roses bloom more rosy for joy, and the door's silence ripens into sound, and fingers move to sound. All beauteous boy, or what is to waken into smiles, and prove, if not more lovely, what more like love. To an Enthusiast, by Thomas Hood. Young ardent soul graced with fair nature's truth, spring warmth of heart and fervency of mind, and still a large laid love of all their kind. Spite of the world's cold practice and time's tooth, for all these gifts I know not, in fair sooth, whether to give thee joy, or bid thee blind, when eyes of tears, that thou hast not resigned, the passionate fire and freshness of thy youth. For as the current of thy life shall flow, gilded by shine of sun nor shadow stained, flowery vales or unwholesome fen, thrice blessed in thy joy and thy woe, thrice cursed of thy race, what ordained to share beyond the lot of common men. To Fancy, by Thomas Hood. Most delicate, aerial, submissive thing, won by the mind's high magic to its hest, invisible embassy, a secret guest, waiting the light on a lighter wing, whether under the midnight moon bring illumined visions to the eye of rest, or rich romances for the flowered west, to receive a mystic whispering, still with thy charmed allegiance to the will, where fruitful wishes prosper in the brain, as by the fingering of fairy skill, moonlight and waters and soft music strain odors and blooms, and memoranda smile, making the dull world an enchanted eye. To Hope, Thomas Hood. Oh, take, young seraph, take the harp and play to me so cheerily, for grief is dark and care sharp and life worse on so verily. Oh, take thy harp, oh, sing as thou wert wont to do, when all youth's sunny season long I sat and listened to thy song, and yet was ever, ever new, with magic in its heaven-tuned string, a future bliss the constant theme. And when each little woe took wing away like phantoms of a dream, as if each sound that fluttered round had floated over leaf stream. All those bright and happy hours we spent in life's sweet eastern bowers, where thou wouldst sit and smile, and show our buds would come, our flowers would blow, and oft anticipate the rise of life's warm sun that scaled the skies. By many a story of love and glory and friendships promised oft to me, by all the faith I lent to thee, O take, young self, take the harp and play to me so cheerily. For grief is dark and care sharpen life worse on so verily. O take the harp, a chant of strings will sound less clear, that long have lain neglected by and so's misty atmosphere. And ere I speak as it hath spoken, such joyous notes to brisk and high, are its golden chords all broken? Are we not some, or weak and low, to play a lullaby to woe? And thou canst sing of love no more, for Celia showed the dream was vain, and many a fancied bliss hour comes not in dreams again. Alas, alas, so pleasures pass, and leave thee no to subject, save for peace and bliss beyond the grave. And be thy flight among the skies, take the skylark's wing, and leave dull earth, and heavenward rise, upon its tearful clouds, and sing on skylark's wing. Another life spring where adorns another youth, without the dread of cruel care, whose crown of thorns is here for manhood's aching head. We are realms of welcome day, a world where tears are wiped away, and be the flight among the skies. Take the skylark's wing, and leave dull earth, and heavenward rise on its tearful clouds, and sing on skylark's wing. Verses written in an album by Thomas Hood. Far above the hollow tempest and its moan, singeth bright Apollo in his golden zone. Cloud doth never shade him, nor storm invade him on his joyous throne. So whenever he hold me in an orb as bright, always hold me in its frown of light. So never paineth, nor care attaineth to this blessed height. Welcome, dear heart, and the most kind good morrow, by Thomas Hood. Welcome, dear heart, and the most kind good morrow. The day is gloomy, but our looks shall shine. Flowers I have none to give thee, but a bow with sweetness, and a verse to speak for wine. Here red roses gathered at thy cheeks, and white were all too happy to look white. For love and rose, for faith the lily speaks, and verse in false hands, but here 'tis bright. Does love's sweet pensive, its scanted leaf curds manifold, or love's delights blow double? The saddest floweret is inscribed with grief, but let that hint of forgotten trouble. Pluck the primrose at night's dewy noon, like hope, and shout its blossoms in the night. Draws like animal watching for the moon. And here are sunflowers, morrows of light, with golden buttercups April seal. The daisy stars constellations be. These grew so lowly, I was forced to kneel before. I pluck no daisies but for thee. Here's daisies for the morn, primrose for gloom, pansies and roses for the noontide hours. And wild ones made a dial of a bloom, so may life be measured out by flowers.